Alright, that was kind of loud, so I had to change the volume, but here we are finally, and by finally I mean 12, oh yeah, December, so it's been like half a year. I thought it's been a full year. But by finally I mean I spent a very long time organizing my wires and stuff, the AV cables for my Dazzle and whatnot, because it was becoming just like a super jumbled mess and super annoying and just, ugh, it was such a mess and I couldn't tell what anything was anymore. And so I taped them all together in such a way that made sense to me. And especially with throwing in the Wii's sensor bar cable, that thing just became a mess, oh my god. Okay, there was an evil jewel fed on people's desires. This dark jewel gave birth to many evil spirits who then tormented the good creatures of the world. I'm at a terrible time right now. Then, just as it seemed like the evil spirits would overrun the land, spritlings of the sacred forest ensnared the black jewel into ancient ruins. But over time, these events were forgotten, and one day a greedy treasure hunter stole the jewel from the ruins. That's pretty much the story. I missed bits and pieces, but I don't think it matters. It's a Mario game, or rather a Wario game. Ooh, free at last. I'm chock full of power. I think I'll turn all of this greedy sap's jewels into evil spirits. Blah. That was the jewel talking, apparently has a mouth. Why am I talking so fast? Probably because I had to read really fast. Let's slow down the talking a little bit. Okay. So here we are at Wario's castle, where he just sits on his throne all day and laughs like a madman, because he has a bunch of treasure. And he also has statues of himself, which, quite honestly, I'm not surprised. Although, honestly, this castle made out of solid gold, probably not the best to hold up to an earthquake caused by an octopus jewel monster. Yeah, that just kind of fell apart right quick. And thus, Wario is transported into here. So, I don't think there's really an explanation as to what this place is. It's literally just a HUD world, and that's it. There's no, like, explanation behind it or whatever. So let's go ahead and head into World 1. We can do a corkscrew conch jump. We have our good old Wario charge thing. We have level 1 right here. Probably should have read that sign. So this is the first world of Wario. The first world of Wario World. Yep, that's the thing. They kind of just throw you right into it. Not a lot in story. So this is a platformer collectathon, just like pretty much every other Mario game. But it has a lot more collectibles than your average Mario game. Like, Mario games tend to just have, like, stars and like red coins and stuff like that for a star. But this game actually has several collectibles, and we're about to pick up the first one right now. Yeah. So every world, or level, or whatever you want to call it, has 8 buttons. And these buttons are each different colors, and then once you hit the button, the platform will activate and the treasure chest will appear. You break open the treasure chest and you'll get the treasure. In the beginning worlds, the buttons are super close to the treasure chests, but as you move on in the game, they'll get further and further away and more hidden. Next up, we have Spritlings. There are 5 of them in the level. You bust them out of their box, and they'll give you little hints and tips and stuff, and they're also a collectible. And I think they're the main one that matter if you want to go for the good ending. Yeah, so this game has a good and a bad ending. I'm already talking about the ending, that's great. But yeah, there's... Oh boy, they're just really throwing everything at me, holy crap. But yeah, the more Spritlings you get, the better your ending. So that's what those guys do. The treasures, you'll get Wario Microware minigames, which isn't a great prize at all, especially if you're like me and despise that series. I think it's dumb and unnecessary. Lastly are the gold statue pieces, which are suggested to be collected, because if you collect all 8 of them in a level, you'll get a new heart fragment. So basically more life, which would be really helpful. And you know, there's some really neat treasures. I'll try to like look at all 8 of them before we end a level. And then there's also coins, of course, because it's a Mario game, and Wario is a greedy man himself. So yeah, just your typical platforming collectathon type game. Kind of like Mario, although I'd honestly compare this more to an old Rare game, just because of the sheer amount of collectibles and how expansive some of these levels can get. So it's kind of a very nice mix between the two, which is why I like it so much. Yeah, let's head up here, grab this treasure. I had something else to talk about, but then I got kind of lost in all the explanation and stuff. I told the story of my Wii cables being terrible for me. Oh yeah, so not only is this a platformer, but as you can see, it's mixed in some beat-em-up elements as well. I can just spin this guy around forever and beat up all of his friends with him. And then you can just punch a bunch of enemies and coins and stuff. Okay, so lastly, I forgot about these actually when I was explaining all the collectibles. We have these trapdoors. There are 8 of them in a level, and each of them basically has a puzzle that you can solve, which I failed on the very first one, which is just great. So usually they also have a statue piece in them or some other secondary collectible to grab, but the main thing in them is that red crystal thing. You need a certain amount of them in order to activate the boss of the level, to end the level. And it increases as you move along in the game, as you progress. Okay, so we already have our second one. So these are nice little mini-games, either puzzles or platforming challenges. Okay, if I could actually platform, that would be great. And again, they usually have some other secondary treasure for you, so I just completely broke that one, that's fine. And then you just hit the spring to leave it. So this part's going to be a lot of explanation, because quite frankly, I don't know how many of you have played this game. It seems like I'm the only one that knows about this game from personal experience. But I don't know, I'm sure a bunch of you have played it. I mean, it is a Mario game after all. I want to head up here first. I have no clue. It's been a short while, as you saw, since December, since I last played this game, so I don't remember every world exactly. But I used to play this game all the time when I was younger. Okay. Now let's just beat this up to get stuff. I see my jewel. There we go. We got it. But yeah, I used to play this all the freaking time. To the point where I actually got really, really fast at it. Not like speedrun level, because I was like 10, but definitely noteworthy. Which was great. It was also around the time that I really started to get into video games. Like, we had a GameCube and all, which was alright. But this was... You know, maybe I should be beating these guys up some more. I love this spin move, although that... Okay, I just threw him right off the edge, that's cool. Okay, did not mean to fall there. But yeah, I love this game. This was around the time that I really started to get into video games. Like, we had a Nintendo 64, and I would play it a little bit. Let's free this guy, he's been waiting forever. Are you using the B button correctly? I sure hope so. It is a red button after all. Okay. But yeah, we had a Nintendo 64, but I didn't understand how saving in games worked, so I'd always start a game from the very beginning unless it was like an automatic save like Super Mario 64 was. But like Spider-Man 64, I always restarted from the beginning. Spider-Man 64, those games that I've Let's Played on my channel already. Okay. So, how... Wario can jump about 3 blocks high. So let's set that one up like that. Uh-oh. I might have messed this up a little bit. Let's try like this. Ah, nope, we made it. Cool. We just got garlic for this one, which just raises your health back up if you got hit. Which, if you got hit in this level, you're in trouble. Just saying. Okay. So let's move on now. Oh yeah, just how they like squish down when you jump on them. Even though Wario is bigger than Mario and getting jumped on by him would hurt a lot more than Mario would, the enemies are apparently like made out of Play-Doh or something and they aren't hurt. Also, look at how great this is. Wario has giant stone statues of his face. In fact, let's go ahead and pick one up and just destroy these guys. Okay. So there are basically 3 types of enemies in this game. There's the really small one that'll just die in one hit. There's a slightly bigger one. Uh-oh. There we go. We got the toothpaste colored box, or button, I guess. So there's a slightly small one that die really quickly. There's the slightly larger ones that fall over when you hit them a bunch, and then you can pick them up and throw them. And then there's those really big guys that take a ton of hits, and they can block your attacks and stuff. And that's basically it. Okay. Another piece of garlic, another crystal fragment. We're getting on there. We're also at 10 minutes, so it's looking like we're gonna do like a world of video, because these worlds can get kind of really long. I mean, this first one's already kind of lengthy, and we got a shield over there, and another Spriteling. All the cliffs, deep chasms are really dangerous. You'll fall into the unicorn's lair. Well, that doesn't sound that bad. Unicorns? That's alright. Okay, fall through here. What do we have this time? Oh boy, hit a switch, get a treasure. It's never been so easy. Okay. Oh yeah, there is another move that I haven't pointed out yet, and that's Wario's, like, gigantic gaping mouth. And that's just mainly used to collect coins and stuff that fall all over the place. It doesn't have any actual combat use. I think? Nope, that's not the bridge I want to go across. So yeah, whenever you fall into a chasm or whatever, you have to deal with this minigame where you gotta break a bunch of boxes and bust open bombs until you eventually find the spring to get out of here. And those unicorns, wow, it was literally the last box I tried, that's cool. But the unicorns will beat you up and take away your coins, is the basic idea behind it. So you don't want to fall in chasms. Luckily you don't take any damage or anything like that. Yep, there's the goal. So that's the goal right there, but there's still more level to be had. So let's go ahead and check out the rest of this level and collect the rest of this stuff. Hopefully I can find it all. If I could... There we go. Ah man, we gotta move it over to the side some more. There we go. Okay, if I could platform, that'd be great. But yeah, they're teaching you how switches work. They can have different functions and whatnot. Okay. No, I didn't need that anyways. I keep on mixing up my L and R buttons. The R button is the charge, and then the L button is the power vacuum, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, I still don't want to waste too much time just like fighting enemies, because it can get kind of boring, because it's the same three over and over again. Okay, let's try to hit that button this time. Although I swear, like, my not fighting enemies are gonna bite me when I don't have coins and I need to do a continue or whatever. So you get a game over, or you lose all your health, you have to pay a certain amount of coins that increases constantly as you need game over, as you get game overs, and you pay that amount of coins and you can start back right where you are. Okay. Yet another one of these pitfalls. Okay. Spikes, that was pretty easy. So there isn't a whole lot to this level left. We already found the main goal. These balloons, if you grab a hold of them, they'll bring you back to the end of the level, which you'd want to do, especially at the later levels, because they have like switches at the end of the levels that activate treasure chests at the beginning of the level, which kind of sucks. Or if you miss something along the way, you can use that to quickly go back to the beginning. Okay, if I could actually go across that platform. Okay, that's cool. Let's not get it on the... Okay. Bouncing on the water also makes you lose coins, but not as many. I forgot about that. Okay. So if it could... There we go. Not the last thing this time. But at the very least, this allows me to grab this treasure, which seems to be a portrait. Those pterodactyl guys pick you up, and you gotta shake them off. And we just put in a single red crystal as we pass. Okay, there's still that blue treasure chest somewhere that I gotta grab. I imagine it's up here if I could actually, like, not fall. Okay, so we got past all these guys, we did all that. Don't fall! Oh, this is amazing gameplay, Mateo. I'm so glad you're playing this game. But yeah, I was actually having a very difficult time trying to figure out what game I wanted to play. I knew I wanted to play a GameCube game, but the question was which one. I mean, there are so many good ones, and like, all of them from my childhood. So it was very difficult trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. Okay, that was a gigantic bomb barrage. Okay. So let's check the stats real quick after we get rid of this guy. Okay, we are missing one treasure, we're missing one statue piece, but we have all the crystals. So that's cool. Looks like I have to backtrack on the very first level, so I'll meet you all when I find that. I was hoping to not have to do this in the first level, considering it's the easiest, but well, here we are now. Mateo's screwing up what else is new. So I'll see you all in a moment. Alright, so I found the platform. It's that light green one right there. Now the question is, where's the switch? And I'm guessing that the statue is real close by. Did I go up here? Let's check up here. I could see it being in the trees. Yeah, I was up here. That was the light blue one, I want to say. Okay, so maybe over in this general direction? I did not smash this open. That was a bomb. Okay, I feel like I did smash that open, but when you go on the balloon, it resets that. Also, it's storming outside, so if you can hear that, I apologize. Did I go up this way, though? Something tells me no. I really feel like it's in the trees somewhere. Yep, there's our last trophy piece. And there's our switch. Cool. So I was right, I just forgot to go up the ladder here. So this is about, like, 3/4 of the way through the level, I want to say. It's kind of difficult to tell exactly where you are. Yeah, I think I only went in this direction. I forgot to go to the right, so there we go. I think this is about where I want to be. Sure enough, there's our treasure. So bust that open, there we go. So this part was kind of a lot of explanation type stuff, because, again, I don't know how many of you have played this game, so I want you all to kind of know what's going on in terms of the collectibles and whatnot, because it is a collectathon platformer. But yeah, I'll tell more personal stories and not be as explaining in the future after this part. And then at the end of each level, we have a boss. And that's one of the great things about this game, in my opinion, is that each level has a boss, and they're all very different. Okay, I thought he was gonna have a shockwave attack, so we beat him up a bunch, and then you can either pile drive him or throw him. I have no idea what that 7.2 is. Maybe it's like a bunch of judges judging his pile driver, kind of like diving or whatever. Yo, if you could stop going crazy. I keep on thinking he has a shockwave attack, but he has not done that yet. Let's go ahead and spin him around. I get that one. That one's like Times of Revolution or something like that, which in this case was 21. Usually you'll get about 20 to 25. Okay, so this guy is gonna go faster and faster. Yep, here we go. Let's try not to get hit. Okay, he got me. And he was hitting with such furious fastness that Wario just caught fire. So let's go ahead and spin him. I was gonna pile drive him, but okay, this works. So just go ahead and beat him up a bunch, throw him against the statues, and there you go, that's our first boss. Okay, I was about to say, wait, he has another hit? What happened to the rule of threes, Nintendo? I thought I had to hit him 3 times and that was that. And indeed, that was the case. So there we go, level completed. I forgot to look at all the treasures because I just kind of jumped into the boss. And then you get a bunch of coins for however many punches you landed. However many enemies you beat up and whatnot, something like that. So that's 20 minutes, that's a good part right there, although I have to edit out a couple minutes of running around looking for that treasure chest. So that's all the trophies right there, so we got half a heart. The next level opens up by completing the level. We got a Wario micro mini game for getting all the treasures, although again that doesn't matter, but I'm still gonna get them all anyways because it's part of the game. And we got all the red jewels as well, which doesn't honestly have an effect, and we got all the Spritelings. I forgot to check about that one actually. So we got the ruby, the opal, the amethyst, the amber, diamond, emerald, topaz, and sapphire. So a bunch of different jewels. And how many of these are Pokemon games? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Pokemon Opal and Amethyst version? I think so. We got our stamps, we got our Spritelings. Oh, it even tells you their hints. That's helpful. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next one, we will go into the second level, which has the same to-do list. So I will see you all then. Goodbye!